So, Jack, one of the things I've noticed about B-sides is they all have a very different flavor, or at least a lot of them have different flavors, right? I did one
Yeah.
where I closed B-sides Austin in a community college, and the next day I opened B-sides Knoxville on the stage in a bar in the morning,
Yeah.
right? Was that part of the design, or did
Yes,
that kind of
when it
happen?
took off, part of the design. Well, first of all, it just sort of happened. There wasn't a plan per se. We thought we were doing one event, and then it took off from there. And as we looked at what kind of rules there are, the rules are very simple and they're structured. But we always stress that the B-sides events and other community events are always best when they reflect the local community. They should have the imprint of the local community on them. And sometimes that's more obvious than others. B-sides in Austin has been in some interesting places, to put it mildly. It was in an abandoned restaurant once, but it was on Sixth. So it was in the middle of everything. But they've been held in bars, nightclubs, community colleges, universities. And they should reflect, the vibe should be there. Nashville is at a university, but there's an after party that feels very Nashville. The topics skew. San Francisco, there tends to be more developer stuff. It's the nature of it. Vegas, it's not as much about the local community because tens of thousands of us are going to Vegas in the summer, but it feels more like Vegas. And it just makes it feel more comfortable and welcoming, especially in the smaller regional events, which tend to have more profound impact per capita. If you're in a smaller community, if you're in, especially the stuff outside of the U.S. and Western Europe, they don't always have a lot of options. But smaller, venues in the United States, it really makes a connection. And if it's welcoming and comfortable, if it doesn't have a cookie cutter feel, then you're gonna feel more welcome when you show up at an event in, say, Asheville here at the center, the convention center, whose name I'm forgetting, U.S. Cellular. That's it. Let's plug the corporate, overlords. But that's another one of the things. The sponsorship drives this, plus sometimes nominal entry fees. But it just should reflect the local community so people feel welcome.
Excellent. Well, I've worked with volunteers before, and these are all volunteer run, and that is like herding cats. So what's the secret sauce here? Because it's amazing that you get so many things to work with these volunteers, and it actually does well.
It does, and it's all organic. Some of the bigger B-sides put some thought into the way you work with volunteers, but for the most part, you get a few friends and you do a B-sides, and a few people find out about it and they come and they think this is cool and ask how to get involved. And so then they become volunteers the next year. And occasionally somebody will have a suggestion or possibly complaint, and the way to handle complaints is, hey, I think, do you have any ideas on how to do that better? And they say, well, you could do this instead. So, you can do that next year. And it either shuts them up, and then you take the idea, or better, they'll say, oh, I could. And it's not, except for the core organizing team, which, maybe one or two people or maybe a lot more, it's not a huge year-round commitment. You commit to being, a day or two before prep, and then the days of the event, and then you're pretty much gone. Unless we're talking about one of the really big ones. In Las Vegas, we have about 50 plus people that are staff. Some of us work, year-round on it. Some it's more the last 9 months. Some it's more the last 6 months. And then it takes another over 200 plus that are part of that during the event itself. So those big ones are different, but the most of the couple hundred people you see boots on the ground at B-sides Vegas, they're a day or two before the event and the 2 days of the event, and then some stay around and help with teardown. But so it's a contained thing. It's not like saying you're gonna do something at your church or synagogue every week, or you're Boy Scouts. You're not going to do a scout troop or one of those where it's contained, and it tends to you drag friends in, and it's amazing.
Yeah. And so, last question. With respect to B-sides, what is it that you're most proud of about the B-sides, where it's gone and what it's done?
Short answer for that's tricky. I would have to say you get two. You can't just one. It's the profound impact that we've had on hundreds, honestly, the profound impact we've had on thousands of careers is one. That's the InfoSec angle. Profound impact we've had. But on a personal level, the personal connections that we've made. A lot of times people talk about their BSides family, and it is the BSides family that's been involved with BSides Las Vegas. We are very tight. It's really a tight-knit group. That's true with a lot of the other BSides, but it's not just in staff and organizers and volunteers. It's people make friendships, they make connections. We have shared interests, and not to get too idealistic and sentimental, but we've changed lives that way, which especially given the the topic of my talk of avoiding stress and burnout, those personal connections, especially when we often work isolated, are profoundly important, personally and professionally.
Great. Thank you, Jack. I really appreciate your time, and thank you.
Great talking to you. Thanks.